It's Jake Jeremy, and you're watching the SEScoops YouTube channel. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about Samoa Joe and the fact that WWE might have actually had some pretty good reasons for him to be released. Now, I just want to start on this video by pointing out that I'm really not trying to defend WWE right now. It's just the fact that Samoa Joe was probably the highest profile name that was released earlier this week. Of course, there were names like Peyton Royce and Billy Kay. Now, for me, Peyton Royce and Billy Kay are two potential pretty big stars in the company. Billy Kay has been extremely entertaining recently over the past few months, especially since the Royal Rumble. She's been fantastic. Her resume gimmick has been brilliant. Peyton Royce looks like a star, carries herself like a star, and I think she'll do very well elsewhere. But in terms of Samoa Joe, it's worth remembering that yes, he hasn't been cleared to wrestle for quite some time. And it was released, or news was released recently, or reported on, that Samoa Joe still hadn't been cleared from WWE. Fightful Select actually recently said that he apparently asked, he wanted to wrestle, but he was still not cleared. Now, if you're WWE, yes, you are making an unprecedented amount of money. Crowds are going to maybe start to come back fairly soon. Yes, we had crowds at WrestleMania, but we're now back in the Thunderdome. It's likely not going to be till about SummerSlam that we're going to see live crowds back in an arena watching WWE. Probably not even an arena, maybe an open air space for WWE to bring live crowds back to events. When you look at Samoa Joe as a performer, yes, he is undoubtedly one of the best performers this century in North America. It's undeniable. If you look at his run in Ring of Honor, he was a fantastic champion. If you look at his run in TNA, again, fantastic champion. He was such a huge part of that X division, really kind of becoming it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. So people like him, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Pete Williams, Amazing Red, guys like that, really impressive performers that changed the way we viewed high-flying style wrestling and strong style wrestling in the United States. The issue is he's not that same Samoa Joe, and what you've got to remember is, yes, he was on commentary, he was doing a very good job on commentary, but if you're WWE looking at the underlying asset, Samoa Joe was, and I don't know his exact talent contract details, but he was obviously going to be on a good contract. He was going to be on a superstar contract. So that probably makes him one of the highest paid commentators in WWE. And if he's not going to get cleared, if he's not going to do any of that, maybe they released him, maybe they offered him a new deal, maybe it was more mutual consent, but that's not how WWE have angled it. They've not said online, look, we asked if he wanted to stay, because he's done some backstage interviews recently. He did an NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. He was in that role of, I'm going to interview some of these performers, ask them how they feel before these big matches. And he did a very good job. He was a very solid hand in that regard. But the fact is, Samoa Joe, it seems like he wants to wrestle, he wants to perform. And if he's not going to get cleared in WWE, he's probably going to have to do it elsewhere. Now, the WWE not wanting to clear him, it's probably related to concussions, but we don't fully know. But it's most likely related to concussion protocols. So that's why he cannot wrestle. It's probably along the same sort of lines as Daniel Bryan. Obviously, we have no idea what the actual implications of his concussion battles, what he's having to go through are. Maybe he's got himself cleared externally. Maybe he just wants to perform somewhere else. But a lot of fans are now saying, will he go to AEW? Will he go to New Japan? Will he go to Ring of Honor, Impact? There's a ton of choices for Samoa Joe, really. Any company in the world would probably take Samoa Joe at this point. Whether or not you put him in the ring, I don't know. I think if he is able to go still, if he is able to give you some of those big time performances, I personally wouldn't want to see him in AEW, because I just kind of feel AEW is quite stacked right now, and I think a Samoa Joe would fit quite nicely in New Japan. I mean, Samoa Joe in the G1, if it's possible, yes please. Yes, please. I would love that. Samoa Joe back in Impact, I'd really enjoy that as well. I feel that he kind of needs to be in that upper echelon, and I don't think he'd be that in AEW. And I'm also a little bit worried about AEW getting isn't this TNA 2005 onwards, like, the vibes with Christian Cage and that sort of thing. But I think it's fair to say, look, before we completely dunk on WWE, which a lot of the times we should quite rightly dunk on WWE, they've made a few issues before. They've caused a few issues. They've given themselves bad press. I mean, the fact that they decided to release all these people on the same day as they did last year for Black Wednesday, as people were calling it, it's not a great look. But to be honest, they probably didn't even know. They probably didn't even notice. It's a business. They've got to do what they need to do to protect their bottom line. And Samoa Joe was probably one of their highest paid commentators at the time. If they can't release him, what else are you going to do with Samoa Joe? He's not not such a well-known legacy character. He might have been offered a new contract. We don't know, and he might have said, I don't want that new contract. I don't want to take less money. I want to wrestle. That's what I want to do. I want to wrestle. I think I can still go. You are not going to clear me. I'll go somewhere else. So let's bring a little bit of levity to the situation. Yes, WWE, on the face of it, oh my God, you've released Samoa Joe. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? But at the same time, let's remember that there's two sides to every story. Maybe Joe wanted to wrestle. WWE can't, in good conscience, clear him. So he has to go somewhere else. And I'm really hoping if he can go, please, New Japan, please, pick up the phone, call Samoa Joe. So thanks for watching here on YouTube. This is, of course, the SEScoops YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below. Thumbs up. You can do thumbs down, but it's bad. Don't do it. Do thumbs up on the video. Hit the little notification bell so you know each and every time we release a brand new video right here on the SEScoops YouTube channel.